Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be pretty short and it's going to be in English because it's for my English speakers out there. But of course I'm going to put subtitles in Spanish like always. And today's topic is just going to be some tricks that I have used to help me learn Spanish. So without further ado, let us begin. So, even if you are just beginning to learn Spanish, you've probably realized that you need more than one article in front of your words. So while in English we have the window, the cat, the dog, the chair, in Spanish nouns have genders. So they can be either masculine or feminine, and depending on their gender, they need different articles. You guys have probably all learned this from basic elementary Spanish, but we're going to do a quick review. So words that are masculine have el, the article el in front of them, and words that are feminine have the article la. Now, as a baseline rule, generally speaking, words that end in O are masculine, while words that end in A are feminine. That's very general, okay? There's a ton of exceptions. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that right now. So a more sophisticated trick that I use to help me remember masculine nouns is the word loner, L-O-N-E-R. Now, any word that ends in one of the letters in the word loner are generally going to be male. So el corazón, N, loner, el piano, O, loner, el coral, L, loner. You kind of see where I'm going with this. Now, a trick I use for feminine words is the dad rule. Actually, it's the dad, but dad is easier to remember. So for any word that ends in dad, so la felicidad, felicidad is going to be feminine. All right, now we got that. So O, A, any word that ends in O, masculine, A, feminine, loner, masculine, dad, feminine. And now we get into the exceptions. So like I said, there are a ton of exceptions to the rule, and they're very hard to remember, but I have a trick for you guys. Any word ending in ama or emma actually came from the Greek language. Just learned that recently. And they are going to be masculine, even though they sound like they should be feminine because they end in an A. For example, problema sounds like it should be feminine, but it's actually masculine and therefore has the article el problema, because all problems are caused by males. Sorry, tangent. So those are just some tips and tricks for you guys to try to remember the different articles. It's really hard. I know, I've misused articles so many times, so don't stress out about it. Your message will get across. It'll just sound a little uneducated. So the second tip I have for you guys is a little bit more advanced. We are going to be talking about the present perfect subjunctive tense. I had to write it down because I couldn't even remember the name. Now, if you are nowhere near close to learning about the present perfect subjunctive tense, don't worry about it. Quickly skip to the end of the video where I give you some tips on remembering geography. But if you are learning that tense, I have a really good trick for you. So in that tense, there are different verb endings, and there's a lot of exceptions. Actually, there's not a lot of exceptions. There's only about 8 exceptions, I think. And I have a song to help you remember all of them, all right? So here's how the song goes. Abierto, dicho, hecho, puesto, escrito, visto, vuelto, cubierto, roto, resuelto, no he muerto por los perfectos. Basically, it gives you a list of all of the exceptions to the verb endings in that tense. You're welcome. You're gonna ace that next test. All right, sorry, moving on. Those are just for the advanced speakers, and you have to kind of be learning the tense that I'm talking about. Sorry, very specific audience. But now I have a tip about geography. So if you are horrible at geography like I am, you need tips and tricks to remember where everything is in the world. And I figured, as this is a channel that generally promotes Spanish speaking, it would probably be helpful to know where in the world they speak Spanish. Generally, South America, Spain, Mexico. But it's also good to know which countries are in South America and where they are located, South and Central America. So I have one mnemonic device to help you guys remember all of the countries in Central America, okay? Well, starting with Mexico. So it goes, most girls eat Honey Nut Cheerios profusely. Okay, so you have most, Mexico, M. girls, G, Guatemala, eat, E, El Salvador, honey nut, H, Honduras, nut, N, Nicaragua, most girls eat honey nut Cheerios, Costa Rica, most girls eat honey nut Cheerios profusely, P, Panama, most girls eat honey nut Cheerios profusely. And then you go into Colombia, and then you got Venezuela, and Ecuador, and Peru, and then you have to worry about South America. But for all of the countries in Central America, just remember, most girls eat honey nut Cheerios profusely, because we all love honey nut Cheerios, apparently. So that's just a geographical tip for you guys. So this video was kind of an eclectic bunch of different tips. So we got the beginning tip for the articles, the tip on the Spanish present perfect subjunctive tense, and then the geography tip. Yeah, so I know this was kind of random, but I hope that I've helped you guys with some sort of subject in your school or in your class. And also, quick shout out to all of my friends in Chicago, because it is now colder, officially colder than Siberia. I feel you. I'm also very glad I'm in Florida for the most part. All right, goodbye, you guys.